Hey, hello everybody. It's been a while since I've put a video up. It is St. Patty's Day weekend. I'm heading up to the cabin, giving a little check out. Haven't been up there since February. It's been a pretty extreme winter here in Wisconsin. The weather's kept us from going up there. Deep snow, horrible, cold. It's been a tough winter, so I'm going to check that out. I think there's been some flooding going on up there. So I'm going to see if I can even get on down our road. That's a notorious road for flooding. I'd like to give a couple shouts out. One to probably my first viewer ever, the Big R. I hope you're having a good retirement, man. And shot misses you, but you're in a good place. I'd also like to give a shout out to Blair from the Wild North of Netley and to Bob Croppies for putting out some videos this winter when I was vacant. You guys gave me some good stuff to look at. Appreciate that. Bob, the way my ice fishing season has gone, I probably should have kept my boat in the open water like you did. So maybe next year I'll keep the old Lund ready to hit the open water in February. Anyway, I'm going to put two hands back on the wheel. I've seen a lot of farm fields so far that look like ponds. So I'm hoping everything's okay at the cabin. We will see you there. Right now I've got a little Allison chains on, so stand by. We'll see you at the cabin. Okay, I've seen a couple crossroads. One of them that I like to take that's closed. So far, yeah, I'm seeing some flooding in the ditches and that. Nothing too major. I've kind of seen this before. Really curious to see what my road looks like, though. It's a lot of low land in my area. So, stand by. We'll give you some footage. So far, so good. What I'm seeing here is they have more snow still on the ground. Yeah, there's some flooding in the ditches, but nothing horrible. Well, that's not so good there. That's a yard. You can see that. But yeah, there's snow on the ground, but that doesn't surprise me. I think since I've been up here in early February, they've had a couple 12-inch snowfalls and everything in between. So I guess we will see what the cabin looks like. Looks like there's going to be snow on the ground, at least. Hopefully everything's not too iced up. I'll get in one way or another. I have a heavy scoop shovel and other shovels and a pretty good back. So the next shot will be of my road. What a pleasant surprise. The road is above water. Now this lowland over here, that's all ice, but it is not crusted. I don't know if they've built up this road the last couple years, but we are high and dry. Shouldn't be an issue getting in the cabin. Well guys, I wasn't expecting this when I came up. Got a lot of trees snapped off here. Very lucky the cabin was missed. This is what I came to, though. Pickett's fence, really, it's pretty goddamn strong. Only one little section broke. I've got chainsaws in the garage. I'm gonna be a busy boy. A lot of trees down. So this has been the winter from hell. Guess I know what I'm going to be doing here on my visit. I'm very thankful that the cabin wasn't hit. Just a little bit up there on the roof, and I don't see any problem there. But you've got a hell of a fucking mess here. Excuse my French. Go check out the garage, make sure it's okay. Mark Troll is going to be a lumberjack this weekend. Well, the garage is secure. I've got trees snapped in this area also. All around here. And I'm going to have to call the power company because I haven't been in the cabin yet. We'll see if we got power. I'm pretty sure we do, but I've got a top of a tree hanging on a power line right there. And that's something I can't do. Hopefully they can come in here and get that down. I've got a mess, people. Right now I'm going to do some shoveling, try to get my truck into the driveway. And I got a lot of work to do. It's a bummer. Well, I got the driveway shoveled. That ain't good enough to get the truck in. Here's what the carnage looks like from the road. You barely see the front of the cabin. The flag's still waving though. Old Glory is waving. So, got this baby in 4-wheel drive. I'm going to blast into the driveway. I just realized I've got the good saw out of my 2 at home. I do have a saw here. We'll see how good it is. Otherwise, I may have to run into town and buy one. It's kind of in the market for a new chainsaw anyway. Here I go. There we go. 4-wheel drive's engaged. And we are in. I think I'm just going to park right over in here today. Snow's deeper than it looks. Okay guys, I'm going to go see if I have power. The one thing I just realized, I don't know why it took me this long. There's my front door. There's the gate where I let the girls in. Good thing Sue and the dogs aren't here this weekend. I got some work to do. So, that's my front door. So I'm going to have to come up with a new one. And I believe my new front door is going to be up and over this railing. Good thing I'm somewhat spry at 56 years old. I'm up and over. I am up and over. That thing just missed the corner of the cabin. A little bit of it's draped up there. It's a good sized tree. Just missed the corner of the cabin. Okay, we do have power in the cabin, thank goodness. So I will call the power company, give them a heads up. Just turn the heaters on, full scale. It is 1:45, and we've got 30 degrees in here. So let's see how long it takes to warm this baby up. Here's a shot out of one of the windows. I don't know if you can see it. Good morning. I say it just missed it. I wouldn't want to be sleeping in here when this thing comes crashing on the roof. So not only when I do clean this up, I am going to assess the situation, and if there's any other trees that I need to bring down so they don't hit this cabin. It's a good thing now. I got a lot of trees on the east side of the cabin, but most of the time in this area it's a strong west wind that did this, and I think I know which day it was. It was probably last Sunday when we had those 50-mile-an-hour winds, or a couple weeks ago after that. We've had wind all frickin' winter. So I got work to do. At least there's no structural damage. So I do have till tomorrow night. This is Saturday afternoon, and I can be here till Sunday evening. So I'm going to be a busy little beaver. Stay tuned. Well, at least that 20-inch Poulin's working good. It's always had a good motor. This Poulin's always had trouble with the blades. Throwing them. So I took the automatic tensioner off of it. There we go, we can get in now. Use the front door again. Can use the front door again. Poulin's eating the wood pretty good. I was almost hoping I wouldn't cut it so I could get a Husky or a Steel. But she's getting the job done for me. No Husky or Steel this trip. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Ralph. I did have plans on going down by the river, see what it looked like. Think about fishing in the morning, but it's not going to happen now. We'll get out soon, Ralph. brother-in-law Dan and I built this fence, 3-4 years ago, and it took a good, did really well. There's, from what I can see now, 2 or 3 pieces of picket I need to replace, and I do have extra. So nice job on the fence, Dan. Good sturdy job. I know I'll probably get some criticism for my chainsawing techniques, but I've been doing it for a while. Try not to get sloppy, but yeah, safety is #1 priority. Ron, Big R, you'll be glad to know I have not had any beer yet today. Chainsawing without any beer, it's a good idea. Here's a quick tip for any of you guys out there that might have a 20-inch Pool & Pro. I think the same deals with the 18s. They came with these cheap chain tensioners, chain adjusters, and I've gone through 2 of them so far. So I got this tip off of somebody online. What I did was loosen the 2 1/2 inches. For one thing, I took the automatic screw tensioner out, unhook those, loosen those 1/2 inch nuts, and simply just take your glove and pull it tight. Then once you do that, tighten these back up and you're good to go. I just did a lot of cutting on that combination there, so I'm going to pull it, I'm going to tighten those, and that's all you got to do to adjust the chain on that. It's just screwing around with that bad system. Just a little Mark Pro tip. Okay, well, this isn't going as bad as I thought it might. I don't know, I might have been at this maybe close to an hour and a half, maybe not even quite. But I've got this long one here all limbed up. And probably what I'm going to do, this thing was alive, so it's heavy. I'm not going to cut it up into firewood right now, I don't have time for all that. So I'm probably going to cut it up into 4 or 5 foot sections and pile it up for later use. So then after that one's done, I'm going to limb this bad boy here and do the same, cut it up into about 4 foot sections. I'm going to drag all the tops and brush back over here. I got an old wood pile, or a brush pile. I was hoping to get rid of that this summer, but it looks like I'm going to add to it. After I do that, I got a couple of, just ones broken in half here that I'm going to clean up and get rid of some of the brush and the boughs. Give it a little bit of a cleanup. I'm not going to be super thorough because I don't have that much time. There's even some over by the garage over there. There's the garage through the trees. And again, I'm really lucky nothing hit any of the structures. I do got to hop up on the roof there and get some boughs down. Again, it's just broke a couple, looks like just 2 of the pickets on the fence. So I do have extra and we'll replace those. So I'm going to keep on going here and won't be too bad, won't be finishing too long. Okay, I got this one all limbed up. Now I'm going to chop it up into 3 to 4 foot sections. And then I'm going to head over to the garage and get the ladder and clean off that roof a little bit. Well, I know it still kind of looks like hell here, but I've been at it a couple hours. What time is it? Almost 4. I've been at it every bit of 2 hours. And I am going to head into town and get my cabin beer, a 30-pack of hams, some bacon, eggs, potatoes, some other provisions. I'm going to check on the family cabin. It's more of a cottage, I should say, while I'm over there. Make sure everything is okay there. I counted 7 trees on this front part here by the cabin. 7 trees, none of them, they were all snapped in half. It's been, well, the guy from the power company came and got the Widowmaker off the power line, but it was 3 weeks ago where we had winds up over 50 miles an hour, and I'm pretty sure that's probably when this happened. So got a lot of cleanup. I think a lot of these brush piles I'm going to let dry out for a year or 2, and up here, as long as there's snow on the ground, you can burn brush. So a lot of these brush piles are going to stay, and we're going to burn some brush in the winter, have a bonfire, and it gives the animals a little place to live too, the bunnies and what have you. Hope there's no wood ticks out because I am covered in sawdust. Gonna head to town, and we'll see you this evening when I'm cooking dinner. Okay guys, just got back from getting some supplies. I want to check up with the heater. We're sitting at 62 and climbing, so it's getting comfy. One thing I like about my television systems here in the cabin is they're not really a DVR, but you can go backwards 24 hours on every channel that I pay for here. I've got a real basic package. I think I get like 18 channels. But I get to go backwards, so what I get to do is watch the Badgers and Michigan State, the Big Ten tourney. So I'm going to kick back here. I just cracked a PBR. Got some hams cooling off. I'm going to have venison, bacon, cheeseburgers for dinner tonight with some hash browns with fried onions and cheese on them. So looking forward to that. I'm going to do some unpacking. Got the Badgers on here, have a couple beers, kick back for the evening. Here's a shot outside the window. There's still quite a bit of snow up here, which I don't mind. My son Andrew and I are going to go to Granite Peak next week skiing, so I think we're going to have some really nice springtime conditions. Badgers are down by 10, 20 to 10. They're slow starters. I thought this was kind of a cool shot out this window. You can still see some of the destruction there. And that hams with the sun behind it. Man, I think that's a great shot. Doesn't get much better than that. Look at that sun in the the left-hand corner. I'm kind of artistic. Got some brush piles. Got a lot more work to do in the morning. See you at dinner. Okay guys, I'm getting ready to go light the grill outside, but this is what I got going on. I make my hash browns out of tater tots, and I'm going to add some raw onion to that, and there's some thick cut Smithfield hickory bacon that's going to go on top of the venison burgers. So I'm going to put all this stuff together and show you what I got going on here in a second. Okay, viewers, it's about to get pretty crazy here. I don't need to relight. It's going to get crazy. My hash browns are almost finished. I just added the bacon. I'm going to head out to the grill now and do some grilling of the venison burgers. Definitely going caveman style tonight. Worked up an appetite cutting those trees. Looking forward to this dinner. I know it's dark out here, but this is pretty impressive. These are our little solar lights that were not too long ago were buried in the trees. These things were buried and they're still working great. So if I knew the brand, I'd give a shout out to them. Now I'm gonna go check my potatoes and bacon. That grill's kind of screwing up, so hopefully it's going to work for me, otherwise it might be time for a new grill. Okay guys, I had a little change of plans. The gas grill outside, it's got a real weak flame. It did this to me in rifle season as well. I think it might have a regulator issue, but I got that grill used anyway, so I think it's time to take that to the dump and add it to the scrap pile. May go back to just charcoal. I always enjoyed the Weber grill, which I still have out there. So I've got the venison burgers in here with the bacon and the hash browns, and I will be serving them up shortly. Guys, I just served it up. It probably looks like a big pile of craziness, and it is. You can't see the burgers underneath that bacon, but there are venison burgers underneath the thick, high bacon there. I think the steam might be fogging up my camera a little bit. Hash browns, 2 venison bacon burgers, hams, and I moved on. My Badgers didn't quite do it. They played Michigan tough. They did their best. But now I've got the players on. I am a golf fan as well, and this is a good tournament. So I'm going to watch the players. I'm going to have venison bacon burgers, and I am going to have a great night. See you in the morning.